Alright, let's see here. Am I live? Yes. Alright, good. Hey, all you beautiful peoples. I'm Anamanga Clendora, and this is going to be a bit different. I have not really spoken about this on my channel. I have not spoken about this on my channel, but I figured with this with this whole update finally winding down, like I've done just about everything you can do in this update, and with it finally winding down, I figured it was time to talk about the lawsuit between Pokemon and Palworld, between Nintendo and Pocket Pair. What? No, I'll take those off. Keep those on. So, I'll go ahead and travel here to the beginning. So, for anyone who doesn't know, for anybody that doesn't know, for all five of you who have been living under a rock, for the past year, uh, Nintendo sued Palworld. Nintendo sued Pocket Pair. Now you might think, oh, did they sue them over the way that? That's weird. Why is the chest inside the ground like that? Anyway, you might think, why are they suing Pocket Pair for the designs? Are they suing them because of the designs of the pals? And you might think that, that would be the case, but no. They're not suing them over the designs of the pals. No, instead, they're suing them. They're suing them over mechanics, and they are trying to claim that they own the patents to specific mechanics, such as mounting, riding a mount, like I'm doing right now. They're trying to claim that they own the rights to that. That they own the rights to mounting a rideable mount, and they own the rights to capturing creatures in video games. And it is just so incredibly stupid and frustrating because for one thing, trying to patent writable mounts is stupid. There are writable mounts in almost every video game ever. Like 90% of all video games ever have some kind of a writable mount, whether it be an animal or a machine like a car. It is a mount. It is something that you get into and control and ride around in, or on. That is a mount. And 90% of all video games have them. So, trying to claim that you own the rights to mounts is so stupid. But not only that, let's talk about the other one that they had. There's been a ton of like patents they've tried to get, but like the two big ones have been those two. Those were the two big ones. And the second one, that they own the rights to capture creatures and have those creatures fight for you. Nintendo was not the first one to do that in the first place. Pokemon was not the first one to do that. The first ones to do that was Monster Quest. No, no, Dragon Quest. Sorry, Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest, where you could act Dragon Quest and Tenshimura, those did them long before Pokemon did. Both of those did those long before Pokemon did. So them going after Pocket Pair and Palworld use a way they could possibly win this. Like, that is way too broad of a. That is way too. The whole mount thing is way too broad of. They weren't the ones to create in the first place. Is stupid. They didn't create the mechanic of capturing creatures and having them fight for you. They weren't the first ones to do that, so they shouldn't have the patent for that. But Nintendo has a flawless track record in terms of lawsuits. They never lose because they're so big, they usually can just bully the other person into giving up. That's the way they run things. That's the way their business is. They bully people into submission. They bully their competition until their competition just gives up and goes away and stops being an issue for them. So it seemed like this was going to be kind of more of the same. It seemed like this was just kind of be more of the same, that they were going to continue to try to bully Pocket Pair into until Pocket Pair ran out of money. However, one thing they didn't anticipate is that Pocket Pair earned so much. Pocket Pair earned so much money. Pocket Pair became so insanely popular that no matter how much money they were spending in the lawsuit, they were making it up with daily sales. They were absolutely making it all up with daily sales, and that has continued for the last year. The lawsuit has gone on for a year at this point. It has gone on for about a year at this point, because it was back in September, I believe, last year when they started, and like, here we are. It's the first day of September. It's the first day of September. It's been about a whole year since this lawsuit started, and Pocket Pair continues to make more and more money endlessly to fund the lawsuit and fund them continuing to make this game amazing. So okay. All right. So anyway, after a while, it seemed as though Pocket Pair was actually going to win the lawsuit. It seemed like Pocket Pair was actually going to win the lawsuit because Nintendo just because no matter what Nintendo did, Pocket Pair always had a counter for it. Nintendo tried to say that they owned the patents for a whole a bunch of patents for all this stuff, and Pocket Pair would reveal that actually no, Nintendo did not make the patents until after uh, until after Pocket Pair had already revealed all of these mechanics in the game. They did them, but long before the patents were established, which should make respirations from Pocket Pair to Pokemon be null and void. They shouldn't have to pay respirations for using a mechanic that wasn't initially patented when they revealed it. And they continued to have more. They continued to one up Pokemon and Nintendo at every turn. They tried saying, Nintendo tried saying, they can't, they shouldn't be allowed to throw their PAL spheres to summon PALs, because that's too similar to how Pokemon throws its spheres. So what did Pocket Pair do? They removed throwing. They removed throwing that in order to summon your pals. Now, you just tap your hip, boom, and they get summoned out right by you. And then they said, "Oh, you can't glide. You're not allowed to glide because we own gliding." So they removed PAL gliding. You can still glide with your glider. But you can't glide with PALs. You can no longer glide with PALs. And so, like, every time they think they've got a leg up on Pocket Pair does something to completely ruin their plans. And just when they thought that Pocket Pair was losing momentum and Palworld and people were starting to lose interest in Palworld, Pocket Pair released another update. Like at the start of this whole thing, they released the Faebreak update, which brought more people to the game, which gave them a ton of money, allowing them to continue the lawsuit. And then recently, once again, Nintendo thought that Pocket Pair was losing traction. They thought that people were losing interest in Palworld, but it turns out, Pocket Pair was just busy trying to make the next update. They made the Tides of Terraria collab update, which brought in a ton of fans of Terraria to buy the game. Every single time Nintendo thinks they've got a Pocket Pair beat, Pocket Pair pulls the wool over their eyes and continues to stay in the game. And the longer this goes on, the longer the lawsuit goes on for, the more and more people are beginning to see Nintendo as the bullies, the villains in this whole story, trying to completely destroy any sort of competition instead of just fighting against the competition and making their games better. That doesn't that tells me that they don't want competition because they understand their games aren't as good as they used to be. Now, I will straight up be the first to say that yes, I am part of the problem. I am guilty of buying the new Pokemon games. I bought Sword and Shield when that came out because I was excited to play a console Pokemon game. I bought Let's Go Eevee because I love Eevee. I bought Violet. I bought Pokemon Violet because, well, it promised to be an open world Pokemon game, and I really wanted to see what an open world Pokemon game would look like. So I know I am guilty of this. I know I am guilty. I am part of the machine. I am enabling Pokemon to continue to do what they're doing. Pokemon is just a franchise that I grew up with. I grew up playing the first two generations. I grew up playing the first two generations. I stopped playing when the third generation came around. I played Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I never played like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I kind of grew out of it at that point. But I always held Pokemon very near and dear to me. Like Pokemon, I had always had very near and dear to me. So, all right. Wait, so I do fully acknowledge that I am part of the problem. I absolutely acknowledge that I am part of the problem. I am enabling Pokemon. And still want to see better from a franchise that I love so much, a franchise that I grew up loving. I want to see them do better. I don't want to see them. Um, Come on. You know what? I'll go and put it here. I don't want to see them continue to make terrible games. I really don't. I want to see them make good games. I want to see them make good games, and I want to see them thrive. But not at the cost of not at the cost um of absolutely destroying other creative teams, other people who just want to make decent games. I do not want to see them. I do not want to see them completely destroy other creative people, people who love their game, who were inspired by their games, who want to make games that take inspiration from Pokemon. Like those are fans. Those are people who love Pokemon, and you're completely destroying their creativity instead of embracing it and battling against it in a competitive way. Isn't that what Pokemon is all about? Having fun having fun competitive battles against each other? That's what Pokemon is all about. And yet Nintendo just doesn't seem to see that. Nintendo doesn't seem to see that and just sees a bunch of people who are trying to get in on their turf. It's incredibly unfortunate that that's what they see. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about this whole situation because it absolutely sucks. Who are you? Prove the legend. Oh. While a pal with a legendary passive skill. Oh. Alright, cool. Anyway. Don't attack. I don't want you attacking. Anyway. But, things have been calming down recently. We don't have a whole lot of information right now as to what's happening. But Pocket Pair continues to get more and more popular by the day. It is still, to this day, the most popular game on Steam. It became the most popular game on Steam a few months after release, and it has continued to be that throughout this whole ordeal, and it continues to make more and more money. um, each and every day that passes. No, I already got that. Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you for protecting me. Anyway. Well, I just really wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk about all. I just wanted to talk about all this, because it's just a really sucky situation, especially since I absolutely adore, um, both games. I love Pokemon. I grew up loving Pokemon, and I absolutely love Palworld. It is an insanely fun game. It's the gameplay loop with it is so incredibly addicting. Like I've put in over 800 hours into the game. I've put over 800 hours into the game. I wouldn't have done that if I didn't love the game. Like, honest to God, there are not a whole lot of games that I have played as much as Palworld. Like, I I can count on, let me see. I can count on two hands how many games I've actually played 800 hours of. Let's see. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum, Slime Rancher, the original. Um, is there anything else? Is there anything else that I've played that I've put in 800 hours into? Because I know there's a lot of games that I absolutely adore, but I can't think of any of them that I've actually played for over 800 hours. Let's see. Oh, actually no. There is a couple others. Minecraft and Minecraft and Senran Kagura Estival Versus. So there you go. 9 games. 9 games that I've put that I've put over 800 hours into. I do not put this many hours into games most of the time. It is very rare for me to put several hundreds of hours into a single game. Now, Pokemon, I will usually spend about 100 hours in each Pokemon game. Like I will spend the first like 20 to 40 hours in the game just getting through the story. And then I'll spend the rest of my time just catching as many of a specific Pokemon as I can to try to get a shiny to spawn. It never does. So, like, no joke. The only shinies that I've actually gotten to spawn, I've only ever gotten 3 shinies to spawn in all of my time playing Pokemon, and all 3 of them were in Legends Arceus. Shiny Golem, shiny Braviary and shiny Torterra. And that's it. So, I legit cannot seem to get any shinies to spawn, ever. So, and I didn't even get them to spawn through the hard work and doing everything in those, doing everything you can do with those Pokemon. I got them through like the different outbreaks, which like greatly increased the chances of a shiny to spawn. And yet, the outbreaks never happened for any of the Pokemon that I actually want shinies of. So, but anyway, we're off topic. But yeah, so I really hope that the rest of this goes well. I really hope that the lawsuit is able to resolve and that Pocket Pair comes out as the victor. I sincerely hope that's what happens. Because if... Okay, come on. There we go. If Pokemon wins, if Nintendo wins this lawsuit, it is going to have a snowball effect that is going to result in the complete destruction and dismantle of everything we love about video games. Because it will open the floodgates. It will 100% open up the floodgates. Okay. It will open up the floodgates, so... It will open up the floodgates because if this is allowed, what's next? If this is allowed to go through, what is next? What is gonna happen next? Because if they succeed and Pocket Pair is completely destroyed, if Pocket Pair is completely ends up getting completely destroyed, completely annihilated, and they end up having to like get rid. Oh. Yeah. I need a Vixie. Yay! Thank you. Alright. So if this is allowed to go through, then it will basically destroy all creativity, because every single massive video game company will start to patent different video game mechanics. The ability to shoot in a video game is going to be owned by one video game company. Riding a mountain in a video game is going to be owned by Nintendo. So no other game in existence, no other game from then on will ever be able to have a rideable mount. And it's just never going to stop. It will never stop. If Nintendo wins this, it will prove to the world that video game mechanics can be patented, and you can be the only ones allowed to make games with those mechanics. So, yeah, it's bad. It's a really bad situation. I don't like it. I don't like this whole situation. We need Pocket Pair to win. Like 100% Pocket Pair has to win. If they do not, it is going to destroy creativity in games as we know it. So, anyway, with that said, I'm just gonna leave this here. I've given my warning. I've given my 2 cents. I've given my 2 cents. There's not much else. There's not much else to talk about. I am just gonna make my way. Yay! Male and female Jolthog. I don't remember what gender I had for Jolthog. Okay, well, I guess this is it. It's time to wrap this up. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.